Alright, folks, we're back with another review and thoughts on. I just got done checking out the third film in the franchise of Wrong Turn, Left 4 Dead. And this one deals with a group of convicts, pretty much transfer bus crashes in a West Virginia forest. Group of convicts and a corrections officer meet a rafter who is on the run from the cannibalistic hillbillies who have murdered her friends. Now, this one is directed by the same guy that did the fourth one. And yeah, like this one, where the fourth one I had, again, in the beginning, I said in that review, I would have liked a more slow burn. It should have been more original, I think, since it's called Beginnings, it's a prequel. This one, I don't know where it fits in the I guess it's just a random movie. It's called Wrong Turn 3, but it's really not. Whatever. I mean, I think it was supposed to be a sequel, because what I'm seeing on IMDb, they wanted the original girl from the first film that survived. They wanted her character back. Or no, she wanted to come back. Dushku. The girl from the first movie, 2003 one, she wanted to come back, but I guess they didn't want to really do anything with her character. Even though I think they wrote a script for her character. Then they decided to just scrap it. I guess this girl's supposed to be a semi like that character, but not really. Because it starts out with a group of young adults who are rafting at first, having fun, and then you do get some nudity in this, some boobs at the beginning. And of course, there's a kill where a guy there's only two cannibals in this one, and they're looking at like this 3-finger and 3 toes, I think, is the younger one's name. He dies very early on. I'm like, wow. They tried to build that up, and then they introduced that character, and then he just dies like really fast. Okay. But yeah, it starts out with this group of young adults rafting, and then two of them are trying to get it on, and pretty much 3-finger shoots a bow and arrow through the girl's boob and the guy's hand on her boob. Then he kills all of them pretty much off, and one girl of that group survives somehow. She stays in the forest hidden, I guess, until these convicts show up, and this corrections officer guy with his buddy, and then the black partner, he dies early on. And that scene was kind of boring, really. We sort of get some. I can't remember what the lead guy, the Leon guy, wants to really do with his life. I think he mentions like he wants to retire sometime with a lot of money and go to Miami or something. And then because the reason they're doing this transferring thing, because they want at least a few officers on the scene, because they think there's a pickup. They think this one Mexican drug lord guy, I guess, this lead Mexican guy, jail guy, he's expecting a hit on this transfer, so he wants, so that's why the security guys or officers are transporting them. Anyway, the bus crashes, and it's pretty much the convicts have to fight really only one cannibal. And the idea is like the acting in this is fine from everyone. I thought it was decent to average, not really bad. The effects are fine, as what all these other movies are. The effects are just fine or good. I couldn't really root for anybody, because really the only person I rooted for I kind of liked was the dog, the German Shepherd that comes in later on, and then it dies. So I'm like, oh. I mean, I like the lead guy, but then he doesn't. Because really, the reason they keep him the convicts keep him alive because he knows the semi knows the forest. I think this is supposed to be the same forest from the first film, if I'm not mistaken. Because they I don't know. It seems like it's supposed to be the first. Because it seems like because they want to go to a tower in the forest, and you mentioned like a ladder we climb up at one at a time, and then they mention how it was burnt down when they get there. It's burnt down, and so I guess this must be sort of a sequel to the very first one, but then not really because. But then I'm thinking, is Three Toes or whatever his name is, not Three Fingers, but the younger one, is he supposed to be the baby from the second movie, the baby that was born with that other family that died, and then Three Finger takes him in later at the end of the movie? Is that the baby that grows up to be two or three toes or whatever? If anybody knows, please sound off in the comments because it seems like it was to me because the way his face was deformed, kinda. But yeah, the makeup in this is fine for the look of the cannibals. They're, you know, decent, I guess. Janet Montgomery, who plays Alex, who's the girl from the beginning that survives when her friends were slaughtered. I sort of liked her, but then not really, because her character is kind of whiny. I mean, I get it, you're being chased by cannibals, or one cannibal, and you're scared, but come on. You don't need to cry at like every single, encounter with them. I mean, the girl in the first film, at least she was more tougher than this chick. At least I guarantee I guarantee she put up a fight more than this girl in this movie because the lead, the douchebag Mexican jail man, he decides to give her away to the cannibal guy. Three Finger takes her, and she doesn't even fight back. Doesn't even try to struggle. Like she just lets him grab her and carry her in the truck and then drive off. And I'm like, wow. And then she stabs him later on. But I'm like, it's too little, too late because you're not a fighter, really. You're not a fighter. I think they should have done better with her character. I would have liked it if it was maybe if I don't know, because like if you had it's just the two cannibals. Alright, so they kill off the younger one. How about have Three Finger go ballistic and start killing off these convicts, which she does, but I didn't really care. Granted, I didn't care to begin with because they're cannibals and they're evil, and but I don't know, it seemed like it would have been more interesting if we were in his point of view, I guess, maybe, like, do a point of view of the cannibals, I guess, I don't know. Like, it could have been like a John Wick type of, or not John Wick, but like a Rambo type of thing where they're taking off these convicts one by one because they took out his youngin, so he wants revenge. And even the fight between the Mexican convict and the Three Finger, I thought that was a pretty decent fight. I liked, but then of course he died because and then even the lead guy at the end, like they kill Three Finger. I thought because he stabs him in the head, and then the truck blows up. So I'm assuming he burns up. But then it's an end credit scene where it's just I guess it must be sometime later, and the guy, the what's his name? Nate, who doesn't even have an IMDb picture. Oh my god. Anyway, Nate, Leon wannabe. That guy, he goes back for the money because all this time is the convicts want to carry the money throughout the forest so they can get away with the money. But he goes back for it later at the very end of the movie, and then he dies because he lets the one convict guy, who I thought was decent, because I really thought he was a bit decent because turns out he didn't really do what he did, but then I guess he actually did do what he did, which is why he was convicted. But nonetheless, he ends up turning heel the whole time. He turns heel and kills Nate. Because Nate goes back for the money, and then he gets shot with a bow and arrow, and we think it's a hillbilly at first, but then no, it's the convict they let go free. And then he dies. We don't see it, but we hear him scream at the end. I guess it's supposed to be another mutant cannibal, or maybe it's Three Finger again. I don't know, because I can't remember. I don't think because like the pants were black, so I guess maybe they were supposed to be burnt. So maybe it was Three Finger. These movies are weird. Like I don't understand. Like these are movies. Like the fifth one and the sixth one have Three Finger and the other two mongoloids. But the others, or the fourth one has. I'm not counting the fourth one because that's pretty cool. But like the last, I don't understand this franchise. Like they pick and choose like which mutants they want to show. Like they seem to really want to just pick Three Finger, I guess, because he's the most popular, which I assume, which I'm getting the vibe of from fans, which I don't get at all. I don't really get the appeal of this franchise. I don't mind the first one. I think the second one's pretty good. Pretty doggone good. And I did decent with his characters. It did different for a change where you think, oh, these aren't the people that are going to survive. It's this group of people. Alright. But yeah, this third one, again, the acting's fine from average. The effects are decent. There's like one cool kill, although it's not really a kill, it's a trap where they have like this barbed wire on the. This guy goes up to the back of the truck, and then this barbed wire traps this guy into it, and he's like cocooned in it, and then he gets dragged off. I thought that was pretty cool. Really, that's the only cool death I like, or not death, but cool trap. I like the look of it anyway. But then it had a weird cutaway with in one scene with this deputy woman, where she is looking for, I guess, the convicts or whatever. But she's driving around, and then she stops, and the music, I didn't understand what it was implying. Was it implying Three Finger was around, and then he was about to kill her? We don't know, because we never get to see her alive again, so I guess he must have killed her. I guess. And then he kills the sheriff, because then he calls for backup, but he doesn't wait for backup. He decides to keep on going, which I'm like, why would you keep going? I mean, Grant, you have a dog with you, but for all you know, these convicts can be armed and have guns. They could have killed your posse. But yeah, overall, I thought it was just a time waster, really. Really just a time waster. Like, at least the first two, I can cheer a bit for the characters. I can relate. Well, not really relate, but I like the characters more in the first and second one versus the third one and the fourth one. And the fifth one, which I'm going to watch, and then the sixth one, which I'm going to watch. I want to find the remake, but I can't find it online, so I don't know what that's all about. That's actually getting me a little annoyed, because it says it was released in January, but it's not online, so I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review / rant, maybe. Bad execution overall. Anyway, if anybody would like to donate or to the channel or request a video such as movie reviews, commentaries, my thoughts on a franchise or series or movie or reactions, join my Patreon, and till next time, take care, peace, and love.